This is the Urban Ghost Sling 20 liter by Vertx in shock cord. It does come in 2 other colors, but this was sent to me for review, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and opinion about it because I've been using it as an everyday carry bag for the last week. And here are my thoughts. Now, before I jump into how I loaded this bag out for everyday carry, let's talk about some real quick specs about this bag. Starting off with the exterior. I have this shoulder strap in my hand. I want to tell you guys it's very comfortable, especially when I have both straps on. GORUCK, take notes. It does come with an included sternum strap, which you can adjust the height on your person, which I really like. You do have some points right here where you can probably feed some comms or a hydration hose if you want to have that in the backpack itself. Taking this off and moving on to the back panel, it's very minimal, I want to say. I think that's the whole point of the Urban Ghost series, is that they wanted to keep it very low key compared to the other bags that they sell. So it's a flat back here. You do have that very minimal Vertx logo with some topographical pattern. And then you have a luggage pass-through, which is actually held together by Velcro right here. So that way you can have this slide down into luggage, or you can use this as a shield because they sell Premier body armors that you can slide into this bag, and you can use that as a shield while you're protecting yourself. In that same area, you do have a CCW compartment, which has this rapid access pull tab right here. I have that oriented where I have it go down. Let me show you guys exactly how that works. Now, I do want to disclose that I don't typically carry in my backpack. If anything, it is off body, but it's going to be in a fanny pack, which is my most comfortable form of carry. If not that, I have it appendix. If I were to use this in a self-defense situation, I'm going to show you guys exactly how I have this set up. So first, I would slide my right arm out, find the rapid access pull tab, come down, get my weapon, and go. Now, for YouTube's sake, this is a clear weapon. There's no magazine in there. So that's exactly how I would have that here. Real quick, the holster I am using, a lot of people ask about this, and this switches out with a lot of my fanny packs as well, is one by 945 Industries. And they have this molded specifically for my Glock 43X MOS. As you can see there, I have the EPS carry. That just slides down, and then I just close that bad boy up, and I'm good to go. I really like how the straps also have these keepers, so that way I don't have to worry about this dangling. It's also on the keeper of the sternum strap, so that way if you need to shorten this or make this longer, you have that keeper there as well. Moving on to the front side. On the front side of the bag, I want to show you guys that there is this grab handle up top, but in addition to that, you have another grab handle here. I'm personally the passenger princess guy, where I take my bag off, I just want to throw that into the front seat, or when I'm getting out of the car, I'm just grabbing it from this specific area out and on my person. That's usually how I take it on and off my person, into the car, out of the car. Vertx has this with their gamut bags. A lot of their bags actually have this actual quick grab access there. 2 water bottle pockets. You got one on the right side, one on the left side. I don't have a water bottle right now. Sorry about that. But for preference, I do have a Yeti Yonder 1 liter, and that fits in here pretty well. Obviously, half of it still kind of shows because it is a larger water bottle, but that fits in here and it holds it no problem. Another thing I wanted to address was that the CCW compartment has a zipper that goes either top to bottom or bottom up. I know I made a recent video about a bag that I reviewed where it only had it oriented one way. That didn't really work for me as a left-hander because I had to manipulate and maneuver a certain way. Don't like that. I like dual capabilities where I can draw from either or. Obviously, train with your firearm, but that's a plus in my eyes. And then the last thing I want to go over on the front here is these 3 Molly webbings, which they have on both left and right side. I have a hero clip on here, so that way if I need to hang this up on a tree line or in the bathroom somewhere so that my bag isn't touching the floor, I have that there. And then also I have this carabiner tripod, which actually hooks via MagSafe to my cell phone. So that way, if I'm recording content on the go, I'm just using that. Done previous videos of that before. I like having those accessible here. Moving on to this front compartment. So opening this up here, I want to show you that you have a mesh section right here. In that section, I typically have my mic accessories. So what I use is the Rode mic. I have that in there. I also have the case for this mic that I'm using that I typically have in here if it's not in my fanny pack. Inside, you do have a deeper channel. In there, I have this garage built gear little tool pouch that I have in there. You know what I'm saying? Sock check, foo. And then I also have a small little med kit. This is my Data Crew small fry. I have ouchie boo-boos in there. I actually have a snake staff tourniquet in there as well, the smaller one. And then on here, you have 2 expandable mesh pockets. On one side, I typically keep my camera, but I'm actually recording with that right now. And then over here, I do have just like a little grooming kit, keep my nails trimmed. Behind that, you have 3 sections. I want to say it's about the size of a AR mag. So you can actually put 3 on there, but I don't have that. I have my battery pack for my camera. It carries 3 batteries and 2 SD cards if I want to. It's a Telesin. I'll make sure I put that in the description of this video. I also have my tech cleaning kit. And this right here is just this guy. Comes with this little brush, brushes off my keyboard, stuff like that. Has an area right there where you can clean all the gunk out of your AirPods because those things get dirty. And then if I take this backing off, it's like a screen cleaner as well. Really cool, super cheap. It's like $5 on Amazon. And then I don't keep anything on this side because that's where I kind of have these pens bleeding into. So I have a Soul Built marker right there. I have a tactile turn copper lefty shorty pen. And then I also have my Exceed Designs Tyrant Ultra right there, just a utility knife. And then I have a flashlight right here. This right here is the Olight O-Clip Pro. So it has 3 different modes on there. It also has an amber light. And that's what I have in this front section. Now closing this up, that's pretty much it, by the way. It doesn't go down all the way in that front section, nor does it go down all the way on the larger section. It kind of stops where that water bottle ends. But that's what I got there. So zipping that up, let's move on to the larger compartment. Open this up here. Another thing I didn't get to address was that you do have a little pass-through there. So if you do want to put a hydration pack in here, or if you want to put comms in here, you can feed that right through that hole. Onto the main compartment. So over here, things that you're going to start noticing about Vertx bags is that they're going to have a lot of loop-lined sections. Why? So you can have hook back accessories that can just go on like such. This is another one of theirs, the Taktagami. Put that in there. While I'm on that, let's see, I have refreshments in here. I got mints, I got lotion, I got chapstick. And then this one right here is a case by Vault. It makes some really cool packs, but I have extra batteries there for my camera that don't fit in the Telesin case. And then there's a pocket on that flap, which you open this up. I usually have charging accessories in here. So I got that Anchor wall mount, 2 USB-C, 1 USB-A. And I think I have another Anchor power bank. Yes, I do. So this one charges my Apple Watch and it has a USB-C on there, or you can plug a USB cable into there. 10,000 milliamps, which I really like. In here, you also have loop-lined sleeve right here where you can put an iPad. I put my laptop in here and with a case. So I have a 14-inch MacBook Pro, and this is the Level 8 laptop case. And my laptop already has a case on it, and this is my green moss Andar case. So I just wanted to give you guys an idea of how much this holds. They say it could hold up to a 15-inch, or a 16-inch, and I want to say that's pretty true. And I wanted to show you guys that by loading it up as best as I can with my laptop and a case in there. Now, in addition to this, I have a fanny pack that I typically keep in my backpacks if I'm carrying a backpack. I don't do both. I don't carry a backpack and a fanny pack. I mean, if I have to, I will. But I usually have this fanny pack in the larger compartment. So that way, if I want to leave this in the car and then I just want to have items with me that I can keep in my fanny pack or my firearm, which I can put in here as well, I have that on the ready. But typically the main compartment, I like leaving open because if I ever need to come home with any extra gear, paperwork, stuff like that, I don't want to have so much things in there or have to have my hands now occupied, where I could just leave some extra space in this backpack and I can have that as my go-to. But that is the Urban Ghost 20 liter in shock cord, guys. Now, things that I really like. I like how minimalistic this bag is. When you have it on your person, I feel very gray man, where I don't stick out like a sore thumb. There aren't a bunch of tactical webbings on this bag, which makes it look like, hey, he's wearing a backpack, he probably has a firearm. No, it doesn't look like that. Especially as a dad, this can definitely pass as a diaper bag. I also have that open compartment in the main section because if I need to throw my kids' stuff in there, I have another bag that I put in there with diapers, snacks, whatever it is. But I'll have that in there. And it just seems very low key. Now, this is typically what I would wear on a day-to-day basis. Careful now. This is what I would wear on a day-to-day basis. This is exactly how it looks like on my person. So that's what I really like. What I feel could be a little different is that wearing this bag for, let's say, a day's use, if I were to use this, let's say at the zoo, I can feel the components in the main compartment press into my back. Now that's what I like about the Ready Pack per se, because it does have that extra padding and that little channel here where you can get air and get a good breeze. You don't get that with the Urban Ghost backpack. So I wish that was a little different, because if I'm wearing this hours on end, especially if I'm going to the zoo or, you know, an amusement park, I want to have that comfortability. But I take this off and my back is drenched because it doesn't have that, and my back kind of hurts a little bit. So if you're gonna consider using this for maybe 5-6 hours straight, I'd probably cling to that hero clip and hook it onto a stroller if you got any kids, or maybe using something that's a lot less heavy with your gear. I probably wouldn't be carrying all this stuff in a zoo anyway. I'd probably be a lot more dad friendly than anything. But I want to say a good amount of things will stay on my person. But those are just some things to keep in mind when you have this backpack. Once again, I want to thank Vertx for sending me this bag for review. If you are interested in this bag or any of their products, I'll make sure I link their site on the description of this video. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Is this something that you would grab? Is this something that you would pass on? I would love to know. Also, let me know your pros and cons about this bag yourself if I didn't address it in this video. If you found value in this content, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel so that way you can stay up to date with all my new videos. And if you want to take it a step further and join Mikey Daily Carry's channel, it's only $2.99. I'll have that link in the description of this video as well. Mikey Messina, Mikey Daily Carry. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. Walk.